everyone is talking about this as the Hurricanes look to hold the top of the Eastern Conference with teams shortening the gap. The questions circulate on who's to blame for the blown leads, what the issues are, why does this keep happening, when and how will it stop, are on the minds of everyone as the most crucial time of year is upon us. Thank you for watching Hurricanes Digest. Welcome to Hurricanes Digest. I'm Jeff Testanero. I invite you to like, comment, subscribe. Numbers are doing good. Just got to get those subscribers up a little more, Caniacs. Smash that subscribe button for everything Carolina Hurricanes. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to come up with an answer when one of the best teams in the NHL is up with a 2-goal lead and then completely falls flat. They just completely fall flat. And it's a constant thing. It happens a lot. That's just what happened last night in Montreal between the Hurricanes and the Canadiens. I woke up this morning and I'm on my social media and all my fellow Caniacs are trying to figure out what happened again. Everybody's trying to point a finger, place the blame for another blown 2-goal lead. This is getting freaking ridiculous. January 1st, same team, Montreal. 4-2, second period, 7-5 loss, 5 unanswered goals. January 3rd, Colorado, 3-1 lead. Heading into the third period, 5-3 loss, allowed 4 goals in the final 10 minutes. Kings, 2-0, third period lead. They won that one, 3-2 OT win, but they blew the lead again. Pittsburgh, 4-2, third period on March 10th, 5-4 shootout win. 2 goals in the final 4 minutes. I believe they were pretty close apart. You know, Rod's got an idea. Coach Brind'Amour's got an idea. Of course Coach Brind'Amour's got an idea. He's the coach, right? So what does Rod think? What does Rod think about all of this? Well, to quote Coach Brind'Amour, we had a few moments where we lost focus. We need to capitalize more when we're controlling the game. You can't take breathers. One lapse can lead to a goal, and that's just what happened tonight. The obvious finger pointing I see from everybody online obviously falls right to this guy. Poor Freddie. Freddie Andersen. Obviously, the goalie is the natural culprit, the natural scapegoat. He is the last line of defense. Often the difference maker between a win and a loss. Not good look when he only has 14 saves on 18 shots and a 5-2 loss. Not a good look when the save percentage on the night is .778. I think the hard part about last night is he was on a hot streak going into this game. Coach Brind'Amour started him for the second game in a row, thus negating what Coach Brind'Amour's been doing, and that's rotating through between Andersen and Bussy every game. One starts, then the other starts. One starts, then the other starts. So he gave Freddie the chance to go out there and string 2 in a row together. Right? That's been the rotating goalie strategy since the Olympic break when Bussy came back flat. Does all of this fall on Freddie? No. Not all of this falls on Freddie at all. In fact, I would say maybe only 25% of this falls on Freddie. Probably less. The defense. What about the defense? Clearly they didn't do their job, right? if the defense is doing their job, then the shots can't get to the goalie, right? Yeah. They were caught sleeping a few times. Yeah. Andrei let up a really bad puck turnover. The puck was on his blade. And big turnover led to a breakaway by the Canadiens. Puck went in the back of the net. Really kind of bad. A lot of falling asleep miscues from the defense last night in Montreal. Yeah, but if you really think about it, at the same time, Montreal only got 18 shots on Freddie. Despite that high intensity that the Habs offense always has. Man, they were on fire. They were flying last night, man. So, does it all fall on the defense? Does a large chunk of it fall on the defense? I would have to say no. I would have to say no on this one. Montreal didn't have a lot of offensive chances. You know? Montreal didn't have a lot of offensive chances. This season, too, the Hurricanes, first in the NHL with shots on goal allowed, 8th in the NHL goals against average. You know, they let in 203 goals in over 70 games, 3rd in the NHL in penalty kill. Defensive zone time in their defensive zone is the lowest in the NHL at 36.2%. 2nd in the NHL in expected save percentage. So what the heck is going on? None of that changed last night. None of that. Don't believe me? Let's look at the offense. Huh? Must fall on the forwards. That's exactly who it falls on, right? It's got to fall on the forwards. They're the ones who score. They're the ones who have to back check. If you don't score, you can't win, right? Last night, the Hurricanes offense looked exactly like the Hurricanes offense. Carolina dominated the shot clock 43-19, including a 17-4 advantage in the third period. They had the puck. They had the puck almost the whole time. They just couldn't solve Montreal's goalie, which seems to be a common problem around the league this year. The Hurricanes offense, when I say the Hurricanes offense looked exactly like the Hurricanes offense, they had 43 shots on goal for the game. 43! They just weren't going in. They weren't going in. They're going to make a mistake after a while. You know, the Montreal goalie kept stopping everything. And that leads to great chances for the offense, Montreal's offense. So you want to know why? You want to know why the Canes couldn't hold on to a 2-goal lead this time? I'm not talking about other times, I'm not talking about future times. Some of you seem to think that I'm a fortune teller, but I'm not. You want to know why it happened again? Take a good look. This guy. This guy. This guy. He was a wall. His D let 43 quality shots past them, and he stopped 41 of them. Only let up 2 goals in the first period. This gives the Habs a boost of momentum. So while he was slamming the door shut on one of the most high-powered offenses in the NHL, the Montreal forwards were allowed to break down. You know? Beat the Hurricanes. That led to 1 goal in the first, 2 goals in the second, 2 goals in the third. counting the empty net, for a 5-2 Montreal final. Yeah, the Canes were asleep at certain parts. But this guy wasn't letting nothing happen. 43 shots on goal. 41 saves for the night. You know, watching the game, I was like in awe. In awe. So this is why Montreal's so good. This is what teams heading into the playoffs look like. These are what teams who are chasing the Hurricanes for the top spot in the entire Eastern Conference look like. This is what Buffalo looks like. This is what Columbus looks like. Like this. Teams like this. Montreal's been hot since Four Nations last year. Absolutely no doubt in my mind that great goaltending is everything. Especially heading into the playoffs. Especially down this playoff push stretch that we're on. You know, the Hurricane side of things, this was a team effort. This breakdown was a team effort. And Coach Brind'Amour agrees with me. To quote Coach Brind'Amour, a few moments where they lost focus. A few moments. They being the Hurricanes. A few moments, the Hurricanes lost focus. Montreal was allowed to take it down. Montreal was allowed some odd man rushes. Maybe Steve Valiquette's onto something. They have a goaltender who just absolutely shut the door on him. Totally shut the door on him. That's what happened last night. Thank you for watching Hurricanes Digest. I'm Jeff Testanero.